YouTube, sports world. Welcome to Better Day Sports. I'm Denzel. That's
Oh,
Trey.
excellent. Nice to see you. Well, what you doing,
What
baby?
happened? I didn't know. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what happened.
It's okay.
Hey,
Go ahead.
this the first stream, y'all. But it's going to be a good one. A lot of great content. Without further ado, I'm gonna let my mans take it over. You feel me?
Like I said, but I appreciate you, Denzel, jumping on the podcast because it is what it is. We're trying to bring this to you a couple times a week because, as you know, this is the first podcast. We're out here having some fun. We just want to talk sports because these people on the internet don't know what they're talking about. And I feel like half the time Denzel doesn't know what he's talking about either, if we're
Okay.
being completely honest with you. So we just kind of come out here, lay out facts, and we thought a good first episode would be starting with the most overrated and underrated players in the league right now. We both picked five apiece. I think some people are going to be pretty triggered by what we have to say, but it's coming from a motivational place. It's we're doing our best over here. So I'm gonna get it started off with Paul George, number one on my
Ooh.
list, because if you don't know, I'm a 76ers fan. I've been through the process, okay? I was here when we had three centers on the team for no apparent reason. Yeah, Okafor, Noel, and Joel Embiid. I've been here through it, okay? I'm not a bandwagoner, baby. I've been here. Paul George was supposed to be our saving grace. He was supposed to be the part that got us over the hump. He was supposed to be the player that we said, even if Embiid's hurt the whole year and he can only play in the playoffs, Paul George can at least get us to the playoffs, right? Like, he can get us to playoffs. We can still be a competent team without Embiid. Like, we look like a high school team. We just don't look good. We don't look good at all. We don't know who our best player is. Or we're giving Paul George our entire max salary. For what reason? I see why the Clippers didn't give him any money. It makes sense why they picked Kawhi. It makes sense now. I thought they were crazy. It makes sense. It does. It makes sense. So Paul George, number one on my list. It's a failure, man. It's a big. I'm real disappointed by this. I'm really hurt by this. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay. All right. I have to chime in here because Paul George is a legend. Let's get that out the way first of all. So this is no knock on his legacy at all. It's just right now at this point in his career. He was coming off of two All-Star games,
Hold on,
almost
hold
played a
on.
full season last year.
Define,
What?
define. You said he was what? He was great.
Yes, 1,000%, brother. He
My,
had one, two, three, four All-Star games in a row. Didn't make it again at 29, but got back at 30. Had some injuries, but got it back at 32 and 33. Again, the previous two seasons, phenomenal. Granted, he wasn't the plus 25 per game scorer that he was back in 2019, 2018, I believe. But he was never a 25 point per game plus type of guy.
no,
He's never made over 10 shots in his whole entire career on average. On average, his
I
highest
understand.
average was
Like,
9.2. Like
I
he's a
understand
volume
what they
guy.
needed.
He's a
I
volume
understand what
guy.
they needed. The 76ers thought that they were getting the Pacers Paul George, apparently, is what
No,
they thought they were getting.
stop.
They thought they were getting somebody young that said, hey, give my man the ball and he's gonna be our closer. Because otherwise, why didn't we keep Tobias Harris?
Here's the thing. Looking at the numbers right now, I'm going to be flat out honest with you. I don't know how it's been going on a month by month, week by week basis, but just looking
Not
at the
great.
averages right now, he's not getting enough shots.
He's not taking a lot of shots. He's not aggressive.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not gonna
I
lie though.
respect
I'm a
it.
huge fan of his podcast. He's done a lot of podcast episodes. He's played more podcast
Podcast.
episodes than he has games.
Podcast P.
Hey, podcast P, baby. Playoff P, no, podcast P. That's your calling, but you got a gift. Sometimes you just have to know what your gift is. And right now, it's
Some of
giving us 16 a game and just I remember Paul George, he was nice, wasn't he? Yeah, it's 16 a game. Paul George. Paul George.
coming off two All-Star games, All-Star appearances, averaging 20 plus, literally carrying the Clippers when Kawhi was hurt. It definitely is a letdown as far as what he's doing this season so far. So yeah, I agree. He's overrated.
I can't put all of the blame on Paul George. I mean,
Oh
our
no no
best
no
player
no.
is down,
We just
but
talking about single players right now. We're not talking about team wide. We're just talking about single. Oh, bet, say less. This one right here is it hurt me because I had to remove bias a lot. And we're doing overrated, right?
we're doing overrated. We're doing over.
Okay,
I
yeah,
see what you got
yeah.
on here. I'm excited to hear you talk about this one.
I mean, it really hurts me to put him at, especially at number one, because again, man, I like this dude. I like his family. I like the brothers. Y'all know who it is. It's LaMelo Ball.
Mellow ball, man.
This man was given the keys, or not was, he still has the keys to the franchise, right? And injury bug is injury bug, so I can't knock somebody for that, right? I don't know the full ins and out there, but in terms of having skills, every skill that you would want in a superstar, I think he has. He can defend, not necessarily lockdown defender, but hey, that's here or there. Team
Right,
defense is more important than singular defense at this point in the league. Offensively, there's nothing that he can't do. But
right.
when it comes to galvanizing teammates as a leader, I just don't see it. The way that I see it from somebody like a Cade Cunningham, who
I
was
agree.
in a similar position, not given the best teammates per se, right? But he's in a position where it's like, all right, you got the keys to the franchise. We're going off of, pretty much how you move. And right now, LaMelo's just moving like he's still playing AAU basketball,
Yes,
man.
yes,
Like
exactly.
it's just like,
Yes,
hey, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna do my thing when I'm here. When I'm not, I'm gonna hype
I'm
y'all up a little
gone.
bit.
I'm
But
out.
yeah, I'm outside. You feel me? And
Sad.
there's nothing wrong with being outside if you can balance both. But I think
But
in this generation, it's tougher. It's a lot tougher because there's so many more distractions. And again, this guy's an all-star level caliber talent. So for him to not be able to generate wins like a Cade Cunningham is doing right now and lead like a Cade Cunningham is doing right now it's overrated. Overrated. He'll put up gaudy numbers for sure, but I'm just not seeing it right now. Go ahead.
my biggest issue with LaMelo, I don't know if it's LaMelo himself or it's the
Mm,
situation that he's in. Because I
mm.
don't believe the Hornets come out with anything of real substance for their team. Like, let's be completely honest. They put out a couple players, they go somewhere else, they play decent. But as a franchise, I don't think a lot of teams are like, we got to focus on the Hornets today. We play in the Hornets. So I also don't feel like he's a player you can build around. And that's kind of my whole thought
Ooh.
process when it comes to overrated, underrated stars. Can you really build around? Are they like, can they take your team somewhere? I think LaMelo is a beautiful piece to maybe an art. I would, you know what? I would love to see LaMelo at like Miami. He has a structure, he has a coach that's actually
Oh
going to make
my.
him,
Oh my.
be accountable
Oh my
because it
goodness.
seems like LaMelo really gives off the vibes of like somebody who doesn't have to try hard and is still good at everything. Like he's just like, yeah, I don't stretch before I play games. I don't play games with my shoes tied, but I still got 30. Like that's just the vibe he gives off. And I feel like once he buttons it up a little bit, where he's like, I'm here to win games, not just put up numbers. I think you're going to see a difference in his game, which is going to be really nice to see, to be honest with you.
Hey, no argument for me there at all.
But now, my second one is probably the top of many people's list. Let's just call it what it is. Rudy Gobert. I don't know how it's gotten to this point, but the more and more I watch Gobert, especially in big games, in important games, the more I'm starting to see him as a liability. He can't play at the end of games. He has no offensive package whatsoever. And how he's not legitly shooting in the 90% from the field, I do not understand. I've seen this man airball dunks. Like I don't get it. I really don't. I don't. And then you think of what they actually had to give up to get this man. Like you had to mortgage your
Mm.
future for Rudy Gobert. And every day that this goes by, the more and more I'm like, man, they could really use Cat on their team instead of Rudy Gobert.
Woo! Cat is going crazy. Not
He
going
is.
to
He's
lie.
having a really, and it looks like he's having fun, which is nice to see from Cat.
Mhm. Facts. He's been through a lot off the court. And when it comes to on the court, I wasn't sure how the Western Conference game that he plays was going to translate to the Eastern Conference because it seems like the Eastern Conference is a slower pace and more defensive game. Just always has been.
Right.
Not saying that guys in the East can't have boogie to their game as we're seeing what he's doing now, but for sure, going back to Rudy, it's like you like you said, you always want more from him,
Yeah.
especially being that a lot of his points are just give me's, like just dunks, putbacks, layups, and it's like sometimes uncontested. Not going to lie there. I don't. I think he could easily be a sneaky 18,
Oh
15
yeah.
point per game type of guy, but it just I don't know if there's something in the locker room, if there's something schematic wise where he's just not getting his number called. I really don't know what it is, man.
You know what
I don't.
I would really like to see him with Luca.
Interesting. Why?
Give me a big in pick and roll is going to do nothing but go to the basket that he can throw lobs to all day. He's like the fundamental I'm a center, don't run plays for me, but throw me lobs everywhere. I guess the biggest problem I have with Gobert is his price tag. If you're
Oh
telling
yeah,
me
yeah, no,
Gobert
yes.
was 3 years, 80 million, or like similar contract to who's on the Cavaliers, their center? Jared Allen.
Oh, you talk? Yeah, 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 yeah.
If he had the same contract as Allen, I'd be like, that's beautiful. But then you look at his resume and you're like, he got defensive player of the years and he got multiple defensive player of the years in here. Eh, eh.
When it comes to rim protection, I think that he used to be elite. Now he's in the twilight of his career and it's not as elite anymore. The rebounds are going down. It's just he's a very different player. But he definitely had a time period in there where he was a game changer. And he was why Utah was winning because defensively, that's what their scheme was kind of built around.
I think
So
he's
I
like the
mean,
last big in that kind of we don't shoot generation. Like you have some like Lively doesn't shoot too terribly well. Like you have a couple people at Golden State because they're just running pick and rolls. But he's one where he's like he's not taking a hook
like
shot in the
legit,
lane. Yeah,
legit. No flip shots, nothing. It's just a
right.
layup or a dunk. That is it. No, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. My goodness. Okay. All right. My second one. And this is another one that hurts me too because I remember Drake being at Kentucky airballing in the layup line. Don't worry about that. I remember the
Good
Big
times.
Blue, I know, right? Big Blue, what was it? Big Blue Nation, excuse me. I
Uh-huh.
almost forgot. I remember all of that, man. And this guy, I was like, he is like the second coming of Ray Allen, you know, a guy that can get his shot at will, shoot inside, outside, drive. I mean, just the whole offensive package. And we seen it. I think he had like a 70-point game, 60-point game. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Devin Booker. This is another guy who's been given the keys to the franchise. We keep talking. This is the second time I've talked about the keys to the franchise. You're given the keys to the franchise. I don't care who's on your team. You're the youngest person there. Like it's supposed to be you. It's supposed to
Supposed to
be
be.
you.
It's
You
supposed to
know,
be.
and the wins is just not there. Again, the numbers are there. We're not saying you're trash, you can't hoop, but the wins just aren't there. And in terms of having that leadership of next level, like this is what we need to do and holding yourself accountable, holding fans accountable, holding everybody accountable. I just don't see it. Growing up as an Allen Iverson fan as a kid, I didn't realize what it took to be a leader until I started seeing guys like Kobe, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, guys like that who was winning the rings. I'm like,
Right.
man, Allen Iverson is a monster. He can go one on one. He can score 30, 40, 50 points on all of them guys. And he did. But
Yeah.
when it came to winning, just couldn't get his guys together and couldn't be the leader
That's
that 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 they
that's a
need.
beautiful
So
segue right there.
yeah, man, I just see it. That's what I see in a lot of these guys on the overrated list. At least my top two right there, man. That's I keep it short and sweet, man, because it's almost the same thing that I said about LaMelo.
I mean, yeah. So I got Devin Booker on my list too, but I kind of lump him in with a group of guys,
Mm.
specifically a dude on his team. Bradley Beal. So Bradley Beal, and I'll even throw in there like DeMar DeRozan because these are guys that on any team they will give you buckets, but you know exactly what
Buckets.
they're giving you. They're giving you
Buckets.
20 points, they're giving you 3 boards, and they're giving you 3 assists. And it's cool. Like you have numbers, you have some nights where you go off for 50, oh, 40, oh, you got a couple stretches, but those are most of the games you lost. Like, yeah, you caught fire, but you lost all those games. Like, I think just the standard, I'm a piece to the puzzle is the problem with them, but they're getting paid like, hey, put anything around me and I'll get you to the finals.
I give you that, man. These are guys that, again, they've put up really good numbers, but as time is going on, it's just like, okay, these numbers are almost becoming empty. And I know everybody cannot win, but again, for the Phoenix Suns right now to be at a negative win percentage is insane. It just doesn't make sense at all.
With two
Uh,
Hall of Famers
and you talked
and an All
about, go
Star.
ahead. Yeah,
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 like
man. Yeah, it just
and
doesn't make
also
sense.
it's
And
because
then you were talking about, go ahead. Yeah.
you see it because they're all, in my opinion, they have the same style of basketball. They got the same style of basketball. They're all about the same size. They're point getters who don't necessarily play defense. Um, and that's just like I said, they're just good pieces. They're like good second options. Booker specifically, you look at when they did go to the finals, Chris Paul was leading that team. He was getting everybody in position. He was like, Booker, don't worry about bringing the ball up. Don't worry about running this offense. When I give you the ball, focus on scoring. And that's exactly what he did the whole finals.
Was that the Chris Paul team?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Him and A.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Am I
That
tripping?
they broke up way too early. Because remember,
What?
Giannis had that monster game.
Am I tripping?
Yeah, but
2021. Oh my
look,
goodness.
I know it seemed like a long time ago back. Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. Oh yeah, he's definitely overrated. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
because they're
Hell
calling
yeah.
him that you can't. My boy's not a superstar. There's only really
Oh,
like 10, 15 superstars in the league. Not
facts.
everybody can be a
Facts.
superstar. You can
Facts.
be a really high paid number two. That's not a bad thing. I don't. That's the problem. Everybody wants to be the number one
Everybody cannot be the number one.
because you could. There's only one you.
There's
There's
only
only
one
one
you.
you. Okay, I'm trying to tell you. So
Hold on. We can't skip over DeMar DeRozan though.
DeMar DeRozan, like
And
they're
he oh my
solid
gosh.
players. They're solid. 20 points, three and
I
three.
feel
Like,
like he's 5 years away from 40. I feel like he can still he's been the same. He's not gonna shoot too many threes. You feel
yeah,
me? He's granted the past 3 or 4 years, he's definitely played out of body shooting threes. He didn't used to really shoot threes at
no,
all, and he
but now
still
you
didn't
have
do
to.
it.
Now you have to.
And the crazy thing is, you would think his numbers would go up now that he's capable of shooting threes, but they're really
No,
not. Like you said, it's still 2022. You feel me? I do that.
23 and
Yeah, I'm
3.
cool. I'm cool.
Like I said, he
It's
a great number two.
great.
And actually, so Booker, all these people right here, Booker, who we got? Booker, Bill, DeMar, Levine. These are good number twos. And if you can have them as a number three on your team, you win in the championship. If this can be your third option, you win in the championship.
Facts. It's just facts,
But
man.
when you got to break the bank to bring them all in,
Yeah, they might start taking some team friendly deals, man, because this is getting outrageous.
that I'm really excited to see like our generation of players who are getting older to kind of take team friendly deals and start playing less minutes. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie to you because I feel like when some of these players are like, "Oh, I'm not the number one guy anymore." Like I love to see LeBron with Luca right now. Just the transition that's going on. Like I know my role. Don't put the whole team on my back, but let me be great in spurts. It's gonna be
1,000%.
beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. So going into the next one,
Mhm.
this one hurts me
Mm,
because I had a lot of hope for this man coming out of the
mm,
Lakers.
mm,
I was like, he just needs his own team because he just needs the ball.
mm.
And he kind of still just needs the ball. And that's the problem. Okay. Julius Randle. Julius Randle. he I feel like I'm always watching him play at the playground. Like he's always like he's like an athlete who comes to PE to play basketball. Like, oh y'all in gym, y'all playing ball? Like, yeah, like what why are you shooting that right now? What are you doing? Like, what are we talking about? I that's just how I feel.
Chill, chill,
Exactly how I feel about Julius Randle.
chill, because he definitely has that type of game.
Yeah,
Like
he
he
just
plays
come
like a
out.
linebacker.
He's come out there. He start dribbling.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You're not shooting that.
Get to the real. Get to the
Yeah,
real.
dunk the ball, man. Dang. Yeah,
That's one thing. Again, Big Blue Nation, man. He's another Kentucky guy, man. And I agree, man. Believe it or not, he finished top 10 MVP vote not too long ago, man. Kind of crazy to think that. This guy's been an all-star. Obviously, man, he's been super durable outside of last season. Uh, in the first season he played, of course. But I just I'm in agreement, man. He's he obviously works hard on his craft. He's changed his body around a lot. He's stepped up his three ball a ton. Granted, it's not that consistent, but hey, he can shoot it. Um, this is like if Zion lost all his athletic ability.
he,
That's Julius.
I'm glad he reminds me of a more athletic Randolph.
Oh,
Like he got a little bit
oh,
more
I like
athleticism.
that.
He can run the floor, but
I like that. I like that. I like that.
like you got a big man's game and like a guard's body. Like
I
I don't know.
I like that. I like that. They say he's 6'9", but I don't know.
I just don't see it. I don't
He
see
might
it.
be a 6'7",
Oh
6'7".
yeah. Without shoes on? Oh yeah. Yeah.
I like that. That's a really good player comp. Zach Randolph, Julius Randle. They name almost even. Both
They
left-handed.
they
That's a
go
good one.
together.
That's a good one, man. He's another one of these guys that you talked about as well. And it's crazy because excuse me, he's like in that position right now to where he's like a second, third option, but it's still just not clicking right now. So
If you don't have him as your main offense, he's not effective, like in any way, shape, or form. It seems like he doesn't
mm,
cut, he doesn't shoot good enough where you can sit him in a corner. He and I know he would hate this idea because he still think he an all-star. He would be beautiful coming off the bench and saying, "Here's the keys to the bench. Do whatever you want when you get in the
who's
game,
that?
sir."
Who's that cat? That they got. He was a
Oh,
McDonald's All American. He has like a crazy fan base on social media. Naz Reid.
yeah.
Start Naz Reid.
Well, the problem is, I think Nas Reed's better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let him
Well,
start instead of Randall. I mean, all the game. I mean, Randall, like you said, you coming off the bench, bro. You Lou Will at this point, brother.
see, the problem is Nas Reed's already in that role and he's doing great.
There has to be somebody else on their team. All right, that's a different stream. Sorry,
You're
that's
right.
a different
You're right.
stream. We getting
You're right.
sidetracked.
You're
We
right.
getting sidetracked. That's how it goes. We still on overrated?
Yeah, we got what, two more, three more?
Yeah. Two more after this one. Oh, you got two more, and then I got three more. I got you. Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, man. This is a guy who, when I tell you highlight reel,
It's
is
crazy.
insane. Like, just insane. There's nothing that he can't do on offense, man. However, if you don't reel that in, he is just going to go completely bonkers and off the wall. And it's been like that for, I don't know, the past 3 years.
Yeah.
First 3 years in the league was absolutely phenomenal. He was looking like, okay, yeah, like he's ready to get up out of here and get his own team or take over the Golden State Warriors. But situation happened with Draymond and obviously some more stuff that we just don't know full
Yeah, he's
details
a
about.
bully.
And I think we may have overhyped him.
I
You
agree.
look like a big spender in the club when you have rich friends. But when you leave those rich friends and you go to the club with a different set of friends, and now you have to be that rich friend,
It's not as fun.
money ain't going as far.
Yeah,
Money ain't
it
going
ain't
as
as
far.
fun. It's not as
Money
fun.
ain't going as far, man. Don't get me wrong. It still be a great time. You still
Also,
gonna still gonna have fun, pop bottles,
but what
but
is this? Is this top shelf, bottom shelf? What's this?
it might
Mm.
be some vodka.
Ugh, got a little sting to it. I don't know about that one. Mm-mm.
It
Not that
might
good
be
stuff, right?
Krakow. You know,
Kirkov, some peach
it
Kirkov,
might it might be, you
some
know what
peach
I'm
taco.
saying? It's not what's
It's
it
not a
called, man?
Ciroc. It's
It's
not a
it's not
Ciroc.
refined, man. It's not a Ciroc, it's not a Tito's. It's just not refined. And that's what I get when I think of Jordan Poole, just unrefined. Everything is unrefined. But the skill set is there. I think he's just not never going to be that leader. So again, as we've been talking, man, this is a guy who's going to be a great piece, as he's already proven earlier in his career.
Facts.
2 3 off the bench guy, but a starter.
You know who Poole is on the Wizards?
Go ahead.
Poole is LaMelo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 1,000%.
Hey, if
Thousand
this is
percent.
my team, you gonna get some Shazam work. I'm getting my highlights, but we gonna lose by 40. I don't guard the best player. My assists are never very high. I'm a good piece. I'm a scorer. Like, and that's what I do love about Poole. Poole knows his role. Like, I'm scoring the basketball.
Yeah, they tried. That's why they got the big in there. Saw. I haven't been keeping up with Saw, so I legitimately don't know how he's
Don't
doing
know
in the
how I feel
Wizards.
about those two, him or the one on the Hawks. I just
The
they're good
Hawks.
pieces.
Oh my
They're good
goodness.
pieces.
The Hawks defense. I forget that cat's name, man, but he is like a defensive dynamite right now.
That's why
Like
I'm so hurt they traded Hunter.
honestly, I'm glad they did that because you either sit on that talent and do nothing with them, or you let them go and flourish. So I
That's
respect
valid.
the organization. I respect the organization for doing that because it's like, all right, we have like 2 or 3 other guys that we can play all right now in the same position. You're not cutting the mustard, but you're not trash. We just have other guys that we want to go with.
That's how I feel about the Rockets. They just got too many people that need to play.
Oh my goodness, Rockets. Woo.
Oh, but go ahead. Who you got? Who you got next on the list? Who you got next?
Oh, it's on.
I
It's on
also
me.
had Jordan Poole. I also had Jordan Poole on
Okay.
my list for the exact same reasons. He's a piece. He's
Okay,
not your superstar. He's a piece. A good
for
piece, but
sure.
he's not your superstar.
Going back to the point guards because it's been a while. LaMelo Ball was the first point guard, so this is the second one. Colin Sexton, man. And the reason why I say overrated is because I remember a few years ago, several years ago now, because he's a legit veteran in NBA.
Yeah, he's been in here for a while.
This man in college went 3 on 5 and almost won the game.
Yeah, he
Like
do.
this special,
Yeah,
special type of player, right? But he's starting to click to me that no matter what team he's on, no matter what coach system, NBA game is just not suited to his game. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but it just never comes to fruition. Don't get me wrong. Again, this guy is good, but a starting point guard at this point, I don't think so. And again, if anybody remembers he was one of the guys to really get like social media just buzzing with younger talent.
and
He opened
actually
the
be good.
doors. Yeah, yeah, he opened the
Yeah,
doors for a lot of people when it comes to social media and just being a young hooper. And it's kind of this next generation that's ushered in. Like LaMelo Ball rode on his coattails. That's how big Colin
facts.
Sexton was at one point. Y'all. Like he was just amazing, phenomenal, right? But again, I don't think he's a starter anymore at this point. You know, he's going to get you some decent points. He's going to again, he doesn't do anything necessarily bad, but he's just not a starter at this point, and that's why I think he's overrated because they got some talent in Utah, but I think they need to move away from him as a starter. Like, that's why I think he's great.
I really think we're getting away from point guards. I think we've kind of seen like after
Mm,
Chris Paul is going to be kind of the end of point guards.
mm.
Now it's just big guards. Are you 6'5" and can you dribble? You play point guard because now it's really about are you athletic? Can you shoot threes? And like look at Boston. Everybody on Boston over 6'6". Like you just have to be a big guard now in order to guard multiple positions, go by people. And Colin Sexton, if he was 6'6", Colin Sexton would be give him the keys to your franchise. Like here you go, you do whatever you want. But he's short. You just don't see short guards dominating the league anymore.
Oh wow. Okay, so I didn't realize Keontae George was listed as a point guard. That's
Mhm.
crazy. I thought he was a two, or maybe even a three. But Keontae George is 6'4". And again, this is another guy who had a big weight loss transformation in his game, just skyrocketed. I think for sure that's who you ride with going forward and just bring Colin Sexton off the bench. I don't want to tilt my hand too much because you said the Celtics, and I can't wait because when I made this list, I promise you it was before the yeah, you gonna see I'm not gonna tilt my hand too much because I'm gonna get into that later on the underrated. But we still on overrated. I got one more. I don't know how many more you got. Go ahead, cook up.
We
Cook
got
up.
one apiece. Now
Okay.
this one's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. It's because of where he's at now in his career, and because of what we thought about this man. People were really arguing: is he the best player in the league? Is this the best player in the league? Is he better than LeBron? This is the best player in the league. We gonna give him. He's gonna be the face of the NBA. Sure, he has a couple injuries. He might have went to a stacked team and won a championship, but at this stage in his career, I feel like Kevin Durant is another gadget guy. You put him on his team, you say, go get me 20, 25 a night, be long on defense, don't carry the burden of being the man, of telling everybody what to do. Like, just do your role, go get some buckets, and don't worry about anything else, Kevin. But we've given you two franchises now, and they both have burned to the ground. So I I don't know how you defend it right now. Is he a Hall of Famer? Yes. But right now, is he top 10 player in the league? Really? Can't get the Suns in the playoffs. Who was on? We was on KD.
We was
So,
on
so
KD. It got real on KD. It got so real that I think KD hopped on the stream and like knocked us off with his alt account because he's a hacker too now. You know what I'm saying?
hey, don't worry,
I
he
don't
probably
know,
won't comment on this video.
but we back. You know he will. We back. My
Okay,
whole thing was KD has been through a lot. That's my dog. He's still a
I agree.
bucket
Yes.
at this phases. At this phase of his career, though, at this point in his career, I feel you. I definitely think that the superstar KD is there numbers wise. Like, yeah, he can still go out and get 30, 40 with the best of them with ease. That's just his game. He's just natural, just a
Thanks.
bucket. You know what I'm saying? But going on almost 40, have to be honest with ourselves here. Hand that torch off to somebody else. Go back to taking 15, 16 shots a game instead of the 18, 20. You feel me? And that's something he's never done in his career. So, as you stated earlier, it will be interesting to see how the older stars kind of phase and taper off into the younger generation. Because, like you said, Bron's doing it right now. Amazing job with Luca. So it'll be dope to see what KD does. And I think just takes the right dancing partner, man. Thought he had one with Kyrie. Kind of worked out, kind of didn't. You know, him and yeah, we ain't
So
got to go. We
let me
history.
go ahead and throw this out there.
Go ahead.
So you can thank me ahead of time because I be throwing out bangers and I can't help it. I just something speaks to me. So the team that's going to trade for KD is the Nuggets. Okay, all right. I'm just putting it out there. Nuggets haven't had a lot of success. How many years you really gonna have with Jokic? He don't even like basketball. Okay, we in win now mode. If we Nuggets, Murray's always hurt. Can you do a little KD, Murray, Gordon, and Jokic?
Here's my thing. there's a guy who's definitely not Kevin Durant, but he has a similar mold in game. Michael Porter Jr. What do you do with Michael Porter Jr.?
I think you trade him. I think you
Okay.
say, Porter, you're nice, but we need somebody that's like in their prime now. I feel like Porter's still got a little bit to grow. His offensive package.
Do that. I do that.
He's still really streaky. It seems like he hits a couple. It could be a great night, but if he's not hitting, he's kind of disappearing a little bit. So is he just like an upgrade from Porter? You get me a little bit more numbers, couple more threes, not be as streaky. Just give me a consistent 26, 26 to 30 a night in the playoffs. Jokic is going to sleepwalk through the regular season and get us to the playoffs. So we're not asking you to win every game in the regular season. You can play when you want. You know you're older. You're coming off a major injury.
Hey
Okay,
man,
I'm gonna throw it out there.
there's no argument for me. It's you said some wild things before and they popped off, so
They sure do.
no argument for me. No argument. All
So
right,
go
my
ahead, get
last
yeah.
one.
Last one, last one.
It's gonna hurt. Not for me, but for you, because this your dog. This your day one. I remember you called every step of the
I
way.
sure did.
This
I
guy's
called the
whole
process.
career.
I
You
did.
called it. Y'all heard it. The process. Joel Embiid overrated at this point. This is something that I hate to do, and it's not injury based. Again, I always take away injuries because they don't control that. You know, your body's your body. These guys, you know what I mean. They do what they do. But skill wise,
Oh,
leadership wise,
not great. Not great. Skill wise, he up there. Top three big in the league.
that's the thing that makes me mad. When he's not doing this flippity floppity,
Oh,
inflatable
handstands.
arm
Yeah,
man, falling around like a baby deer, it's like when he's not doing that, it is absolutely disgusting how dominant he can be.
that's the problem.
Like dangerously dominant. But he has that other side to him where he's just a goofy goober, and I'm just like, what are we doing here, yo? So while he can put up great numbers, while he can be dominant, the inconsistencies in his skill level and maturity throughout the years have made me put him in this overrated category. That's all I gotta say. I don't know. That's it. Because I'm ready to get to the underrated. I don't even. I'm ready to get to
If
the
you
underrated.
say an Embiid overrated in terms of what when he's healthy, which is like three
That is
games a
true.
year, he's the most dominant big man like in basketball.
Right.
Like
Right.
but
Right.
he also has this syndrome of thinking he's just a really big guard. Like, oh, I'm out here tween. I'm 7'2", bro. Go get in the post. Like, what are we talking about? Right? Yeah, it's cool at times, but if that he is like the definition of if our tallest player does not touch the ball in the paint, we're doing ourselves a disservice. Like at no point in time, really until even I mean, I wouldn't call Cat a defensive big by any stretch. Like, but there's what big is there in the East that you're not like we easily have the tallest, the biggest person on the floor every single night. I don't get it, but
Yeah.
yeah, even with Palsy in the playoffs, he was giving you like 30 a game. He didn't have half his face working. He giving you 30. Like, what are we like, man? Can you? I need him. I need look. The process is over, and it pains me to say that because we got to start basically from scratch. Because Maxi's not it. I'm sorry, I'm not building around small guards.
Oh,
Y'all
whoa,
know how I
we
feel.
going off topic. We going off topic.
Look,
Save
look,
that for a
look.
different stream.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So
Say
let's go
underrated.
underrated.
Woo!
Number one.
Wait, no,
I feel like,
start.
oh,
Wait.
what
Start
we
at
got? What we got?
five
Start
because
at
I
five?
feel like we got to finish on a high note because your underrated is kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Your
Look,
underrated
how
kind of crazy.
is LeBron James is underrated right now. On everything you look at, they like, who's going to be the face of the league? As if LeBron's still not in the league. Who's going to be next up? LeBron is 40.
Big
giving
soundboard.
you MVP type numbers.
Facts.
Who's face of the league? Probably the old dude who's been here and has been the face of the league since he's entered the league, and for whatever reason just refuses to grow old. Like he's miles less athletic. You just see that on like breakaway dunks. Like, oh, he doesn't jump nearly as high.
And
So
you know
losing a
what's
little bit in
crazy
athleticism
is that's just how much of a freak of nature he is
makes
that
no sense.
he is still like top 10 athleticism in the NBA right now.
Yeah, and I'm 40.
What? The only thing he lost is some hair. He
Oh
got the
yeah,
same game.
yeah,
I
same. And now I hit
damn
the three
near his
ball.
I was about to say his jumper. The jumper.
Yeah, I got a jumper now.
Jumper.
He's what we wanted year five LeBron to be.
Ooh.
Like, can you get a three ball and just dominate the league? That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted. LeBron, as his whole career, LeBron, can you shoot a little better? And it was like I didn't need to because I could hit my head on the rim. But you know what? Now that I can only hit my elbow on it, I'll start shooting threes. So it's fine.
Navy jersey, Navy calf jersey, LeBron.
Different.
I'm not even LeBron. I'm not that like that's not my guy. And I have to acknowledge, I have to recognize, I
Hey,
witnessed.
hey,
I witnessed.
hey. But I think greatly underrated.
Yeah.
If you put some pieces around him, he's still gonna get you fouled. He's a superstar.
Like winner. This is what I say
Yeah.
about leaders, winners. Like that's LeBron, no matter what. Like he holds everybody accountable, bro. And he does everything that he says he's going to do. But I digress. Mine. I noticed it's a little different. Mine, he got some big names. I got the smaller names. We had to balance it out there. Excuse me. Jalen Wells from the Memphis Grizzlies. This dude is in. Let me check to make sure because I had to do some searching to find some players that are underrated. Is he in his second year? I believe so. Yeah, he's definitely in his second year. This guy is a do it all. No, I'm sorry, he's a rookie. Excuse me, he's a rookie. But that's just how much maturity he has in his game. This
Oh,
guy, 6'7", 6'8", only 200 pounds, but that's kind of like the modern forward guard. This is what you were talking about earlier when
big
somebody is
guards. Yeah.
big guard. He can play make, dish it off. He can knock down, be a catch and shoot guy. This is a guy, Jalen Wells is a guy that can fill out any roster and people are going to be like, yes, I love this kid. The numbers aren't gaudy. Don't look at the numbers and be like, oh, how is he underrated? He ain't even dropping 15 a game. Memphis is winning. When you
Yeah,
winning means a lot, bro, to me.
it
Like
does.
when you are committed to a team and you're part of the winning structure. You're not he's an end of a bench rotation guy. Like, no, he's getting 26 minutes a night. He started over 80% of the games as a rookie. Like, he doesn't even have one turnover a game. Like, this is a guy that I'm telling you, man, 2, 3 years from now, people are gonna be like, oh man, this Jalen Well kid, where he come from? I'm like, I told y'all he was underrated, man. This guy is going to be very, very nice, man. Almost shooting 40% from three. Like, very, very nice, man. He's a 50, a 40, I'm sorry, a 50, 40, 90 type of guy. And that's crazy being at 6'7". Like, imagine if Sean Livingston, I ain't even know. Y'all, I'm telling you, this
They don't
is
know nothing
this
about
is
Livingston.
yeah, I can't go too old school, but this guy right here is a special talent, and as long as he's on the Memphis Grizzlies, they are going to continue to be a threat in the West. Trust me. He leaves, messes up everything. Guaranteed.
He's one of the reasons why I love and also hate the NBA draft so much because players that go a little bit later who actually go to like teams that are good teams, they just need a little piece here and there. They can shine in their role. Like if he would have got drafted by the Hawks, they'd have been like, "Oh, you should be a primary ball handler and you should score the ball." Like that's he's never done that. Like what are we talking about? But when you go to a team where you fit this position, that's why I really think too. This year the draft is going to be interesting to see if you draft by position or you just taking the most talented people out here. A lot of big names out there. A lot of big names. Another
Huge.
one I got on list who young buck coming up, Kay Cunningham.
Hey, that, woo! Hey,
Because are the
go
Pistons
ahead.
good again?
Go ahead, man.
Like
Go
how
ahead,
since Chauncey Billups? Like when have the Pistons been good?
man. Been a minute.
And it boils down to, are you a big guard that can create your own shot? That's
Gotta be
really
a
what
big
it comes
guard.
down
Six
to. And
five,
Cade is
six
doing it
six.
at his own pace. He remind me, y'all ain't gonna know because y'all just think he's a funny guy
Oh,
on TV. He
oh,
remind me
oh. Say it.
of a
Yeah,
Paul
man.
Pierce. I play at my
Woo!
own pace. You not gonna rile me up.
Emotion.
I got composure, and you give me some pieces. I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna look good.
Yeah, man. A leader, a winner.
Hmm.
I'm not going to lie. I'm glad you put him on there because my dad was telling me about him like 2 years ago. And I'm like, man, this dude is mid. Get out of here. Like this is early K Cunningham. He's like, no, I'm telling you, just wait. He was right, man. Kate is doing his thing. And when we talk about faces of the league, the guy keeps his nose clean, very, very good image. I think again, a leader on and off the court, man. Cade is going to be one of them ones, man. All he has to do is just keep winning. He already has a Nike contract.
Hmm.
His logo looks amazing. The signatures are going. I'm telling you, Cade. All Cade has to do right now is go on one good playoff run.
Oh yeah.
It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap, bro. Because the city is rocking with him. His teammates rocking with him. He got everybody marching to his drum. Cade is him, man. You talk about one of the ones, man. That's gonna be one of the ones for sure. I like Cade a lot, man.
You
So
got
it's
four.
on
Yeah,
me.
it's on you.
It's on me, man. I got Zay, man. I got Big Zay. And y'all like, who is Big Zay? Who is Big Zay? I know y'all remember that Knicks squad last year and the year before. They had so many different pieces in a puzzle, and it was like, man, the Knicks basketball was fun to watch. There's a
Yeah.
glue guy. I think he's like 1/16th African American. Don't know. We go, that's a different conversation
He's
for a
black.
different.
Don't worry about it. I see it on
Don't worry about
podcast. I
it.
believe it.
Yeah, yeah, crazy, 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 crazy. Isaiah Hardenstein. Woo! This man right here. I told people in the offseason, I was like, OKC did the best thing possible
I agree.
because Chet is not a true big. He just
Nope.
happens to be big.
He just happened to be
he
tall. He happened to be tall.
is not a true big. I'm like, they need somebody that can actually rebound. Because watching that playoff series last summer, I was like, yo, if they get a
He's
rebound,
light. Mm-hmm.
scary. Scary. This dude reminds me a lot of, I know we throwbacks. We the unks now. This guy reminds me of a
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
prime. Don't worry about that. That's what they call me. On the video game in my
You
stream.
old. Yeah, that's why.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, young buck. Uh, prime. I almost lost it. What was his name? He played for the Bulls. Joe Kim Noah. That's who he reminds me of.
Yeah.
A great glue guy. Gonna give you 10 and 10 of them things. They're gonna be rough 10 and 10 too. Like you gonna
Yeah.
feel every board, every screen, every chuck. I mean, this dude is rough, rugged. He doesn't ask for a lot, doing the dirty work. Steven Adams, Joe Kim Noah type of dude. Like he plays winning basketball, man.
Facts.
If you want him to start, he can start. If you want him to come off the bench, he come off the bench. But he is going to excel in that big man role. He is not a shooter. Don't put him out there. But he can space the floor enough to where somebody like Shea and Jalen Brunson can go ISO, ISO, ISO and get 20, 30 to every game.
Yeah.
Like crazy, bro. Like that's hard to do to space the floor when you're not a shooter and you're not somebody that gets a ton of assists, right? But he is capable of passing the ball. He averages 4 assists a game and less than 2 turnovers. That's pretty solid as a big. So
He's
that's
a
my
missing piece.
yeah.
He's missed space. That's exactly what they need. You said it. They only thing they're missing is a big man. And Chet is not a big. He's tall, but he is not a big man. If you can just let him roam around and contest stuff at the rim, that's exact. He's the perfect four. I just want to put on a little bit of weight, but he's a perfect four, especially for their
Mhm.
system. This
Mhm.
ties it all together. Can I be the defensive anchor for this team? And just basically, can I use up all my fouls against Jokic? Like that, if we're being honest with you. So I really like that. I really like that a lot. Because speaking of the man, the myth, the legend himself, possibly have another MVP season.
I like this pick a lot. I do.
My only problem with Jokic is that he don't like basketball. That's why he can't be the face of the league. Because you ask him, he like, I don't want that. I want to go race some horses. Like, what are we talking
Racing
about?
horses. Where the horses
Yeah.
at, man? Where the horses
He
at?
the only person I know to be like in the parade and be like, don't worry, it's just a job, guys. I'm just doing my part.
I mean, I
I'm
guess
only
it's
here because
cool.
I get paid.
Like,
But
I
he
guess it's cool.
putting up MVP numbers. And when he is not on the floor, they look
Bro,
like a completely different team. It does not make sense, the video game numbers that this man is putting up.
nasty, nasty. And
For
if you
some reason, yeah.
watch, it's just so effortless.
Yeah.
Everything you do is just effortless, not rushed. We all know he's not athletic. He's not a defensive stopper. He doesn't care because he's like, bro, we're gonna score almost 200 points a night. Like, I really don't care. You can score.
Yeah. Here's take that
you're,
layup. I don't
you're
care.
not outscoring me, bro. The ugliest shot possible. Like, I
Bro.
don't know, bro. Dude is a legend, bro. So
Jokic
underrated.
is one of the few players in the league that when you watch him play, you're like, oh, he playing chess. He's playing a different game than everybody else. Everybody else running up. He remind me of the old dude, the old head who want to play in the gym. He was
Yeah,
like, I'll take all the young kids on my team and
yeah,
I'll figure it out.
yeah, man. A
It,
hundred. He literally plays like an old head. I
yeah.
swear. If you ever play with an old head, he plays 100% old head.
I was having this conversation with one of my boys, and I was like, Jokic might be able to play 20 years in the NBA
Scare me.
because
Scare me.
he's not gonna hurt
Scare
himself.
me.
He's not leaving the ground. He's never been good on defense. Give me some defenders. Like look, I might play in league forever. I'm just gonna be chucking
Like,
up.
it is scary how long he can play, man.
Yeah, because his game's not built
Scary.
on athleticism.
None at all. None at all. Like, dude can drink beers before the game, after the game, show up
Oh yeah,
tomorrow, still kill.
yeah.
Still
Don't make no
kill.
sense.
Joker. The Joker. Yes. It's on me now, man.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Again, East Coast guy, another Nick. I almost said former because I remember there was some charity talks, but he's played on several different teams. We're talking
Journeyman.
about journeyman, but
Mm-hmm.
honestly, man, pound for pound, one of the best rebounders we've seen
Yeah.
in the last decade for sure, which is crazy because he's only 6'4".
Yeah.
And you think I'm talking about Russ? If y'all inexperienced, no, I'm talking about Josh Hart. Man is almost averaging 10 boards a game.
Yeah.
What? Almost 3 offensive rebounds at 6'4". Like, this is something. I'm a big Charles Barkley fan. Charles Barkley 6'4". Like,
Yeah.
this is the closest thing to a modern day Charles Barkley that we will ever see.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, dirty work, he's gonna do it. Again, I love a dirty work guy. The guy's a winner. Every team he's been on, they have success. He just hasn't been able to get over that big one, right? But before it's said and done, I guarantee you he ends up with 2 or 3 rings at least, bro. Because he's just one of these guys. Again, you put him in any system, he's gonna relish, bro. Because there's nothing that he can't do. He's the ultimate role player and accepts that role and will play it until he can't play no more. For sure. And like, I know I'm going super old school, and I said modern day Charles Barkley, but imagine if Bruce Bowen was as good as a rebounder, athletic as Josh Hart is. Like,
That makes no
that
sense.
that's the kind of guy that I'm thinking about. Like, he could play until he's 39, 38 easily. Like, he's nice. And not nice as, oh, he's gonna give you 25 a night or ISO you, no, but catch and shoot, all the little hustle plays, taking charges, steals, deflections, things of that nature. That's what he does. That's all I gotta say.
I feel
That's all
like
I
Josh Hart saw Westbrook play and he was like, "Oh, I just gotta play hard, and I can be an all star. Like I'm
mm-hmm,
just I can get every board if I want to.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, yeah. Anytime the ball's in the air, I can go get
yep,
it.
yep.
And because of that, I'm gonna have a long career wherever I go. Every place he's ever been, they love him.
Facts.
The problem with him is he wants paid, and for the
I didn't know that.
production that he gives you,
Mm-mm.
is he worth all that money? Because I think the Knicks they gonna be they might have to blow some up. There's a lot of people want some money over there.
It's up there. They definitely got a. It's definitely up there.
But yeah, just like Josh Hart is a person that you always want on your team. He's going to do everything that you really don't want to do that you know needs done. Josh Hart gives you that.
1,000%. Go
Now,
ahead, man. It's on you, man.
next
Last
one,
two on both of us.
last two,
Woo!
man. Somebody that to the depths of my soul, I don't quite
Wow.
understand.
Wow.
Like one of the most hyped number one picks of all time, and it doesn't get mentioned very often at all, is Zion. Zion was supposed to be
Talk that talk.
the next face of the league. LeBron, you can retire early. It's me. I came out of Duke. I had the shoe contract before I came out of Duke because I was so strong, so fast. I ripped out my shoes, had to get my own shoe brand. No one's ever seen a body like mine. I'm a football player, but I can hit my head on the rim. When I do play, I'm one of the most efficient players in the league. But
Stupid. Stupid
I,
efficient.
I I like to eat, and sometimes I'm not in shape. Like I don't know what to tell you about that. If Zion's playing basketball, you look and you're like, oh, he just seems more athletic than everybody on the floor, which is crazy. I'm a 1% of the 1%. But you only see it a handful
Mm-hmm.
of times a
Good
year.
way to put it.
Yeah, you see it a handful of times a year, and you're like, oh, that could be special. And then you're like, why isn't Zion playing? Oh, he's been out for 20 games already. Like what? I so when Zion plays, I think he's amazing, super underrated. If he can just stay healthy, Zion might could be the face of the league, especially now. He used to not talk. Now he got tattoos. He kind of swaggy. Zion might be able to be the face of the league, but he got to stay healthy.
He's only think about this. Dude took a year off from injury.
Yeah.
Came back 29 games, 70 games. Only playing 20 games so far this year. He's still not even 26. Like, that's scary. Scary. Like this man could, yeah, man, he could do some things. He could do some things, man. I agree. He's highly underrated. Andrew Nimhard, Peyton Pritchard. Now, I gotta sit up
Yeah.
for this. I made this list before Peyton Pritchard had
Went
the
off.
pop-off game. I made the list before that. He can attest, Trey can attest to this.
I can do that.
Peyton Pritchard, Andrew Nimhart, these guys, you won't see big numbers overall if you look at points per game stat sheet, right? But if you watch basketball and watch the game and you know what the modern NBA is now, these guys probably won't ever be starting guard caliber. However, they excel. No, I'll take that back. I'll take that back because sometimes they do start. Andrew Nemhart specifically
Depends
does
on where you
start.
go. Yep,
But
yep,
when I
yep.
say that, definitely depend on where you go. But when I say that, I'm talking about lead guard. So I'm not
Right.
starting guard, but like lead, like the offense runs through you. Um, Peyton Pritchard doesn't have that. Nimhard doesn't have that. These are guys that are accessory pieces that are absolutely deadly. They can do everything, but they just small. They only 6'2", 6'3", right?
Yeah.
Peyton Pritchard can score with the best of them. So can Nimhard. There's nothing they can't do on offense. Defensively, they will pick up the best guard on the team, turn them, rip them, make it hard for them. Nimhard done crazy things to Dame Lillard. I think Nimhard aged Dame Lillard that last playoff series that the Bucks had with the Pacers. Like he go back and watch film. Nimhart had that man in a straight jacket. It's crazy, crazy, man. So two guards that can start, that can come off the bench, that can give you buckets, that can assist. Nimhart just had 10 assists. Pritchard can do the same. Like it's nothing that they can't do, and you need these guys on your team to win. That's why they are supremely underrated to me. I'm gonna
I
leave
mean,
with that because
they
I'm gonna
are
give you time for this one.
the last
Go
one.
ahead.
Well, going
Yeah,
back to
yeah. Go
these
ahead.
two, like,
Go
yeah, these are the pieces that you need to win a championship. And that's why they're overrated or they're underrated. I'm sorry. You
ahead.
put
You
them
good.
on
You
any
good. You
team
good.
and you like, we have pieces now. We
Cook.
have the depth.
Cook.
We can maybe could they get you a playoff game or two? Yeah, if they get hot. Like this is exactly what you need if you build your team. Are they
Mm-hmm.
your main piece? No, because they small. Small guards are telling you they're on their way out. But
Mm-hmm.
what's beautiful about watching their game when you watch them play basketball, like these people know basketball.
1,000.
Anybody under like 6'5", if you watch them play, you're like, oh, they just
Game's different.
understand basketball.
The game's different.
Yeah, because look, my defender is 6'6" with a 6'8" wingspan. Like I just have to understand how this game is played to get myself open. It's beautiful to watch. But my number one most
Woo, go ahead.
underrated
Cook up.
star,
Cook up.
who I almost don't want to make this comparison,
You got 5 minutes. Cook up. Go ahead.
but I'm gonna do it. And it's not because based on resume nor play style. Okay, just let me say it first before y'all judge me. Okay, is he the Tim Duncan of this era? You muted yourself. You muted yourself. You gotta take
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
but
Keep going.
he's a Tim Duncan. He's I'm a
Woo!
silent assassin. I'm gonna sit back. We gonna win championships. I'm gonna be on a great team. I'm not gonna be in the news. You're not gonna hear nothing bad about me. Okay, I'm not out here throwing bottles. I'm not going to get wings from strip clubs. I'm out here working on my craft. I'm winning games, and I'm going home where it's nice.
I'm going
Jason
home to my
Tatum.
wife, my R&B
Yeah,
superstar wife.
yeah.
What?
I got a good family. I don't need to be out here in the streets. Okay,
I'm good.
like
I'm good.
what
I'm good.
if you gave just the smallest amount of shit talking to Jason Tatum, he would be the face of the league.
1,000%.
If he
1,000%.
said half the things that Anthony Edwards say, he would be the face of the
Oh
league.
goodness.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh my goodness. It wouldn't be fair.
No, it's already not fair. We're like honest with you. And the reason why it's not fair, specifically for the Celtics, is they basically have 6'6", 6'8" two guards that are both great with the ball, can score at all three levels, and they just so happen to guard your best player. So, like,
Legit.
he doesn't have any holes in his game. I still think
None.
his shot's weird. He still got like a weird hitch in it, but
Little
yeah,
weird.
he brings it up from like his belt. Like
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
really understood that,
It's
but
funky.
no, he just wins. He just wins and he's quiet. They win a
I
championship, you just don't hear anything.
I never thought about that. That is such a good comparison. Now, Tim Duncan is a phenomenal comparison.
Yeah, like I'm just to my craft.
Super fundamental.
Yeah,
Modern Tim Duncan. I like that.
Monica
I
Duncan.
like that. A leader in his own way. Doesn't have to do all the flash. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It just you look up at the stat sheet, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, he got what?
Yeah.
He got what?
The
Yeah.
only thing that I think Jason Tatum is missing is just kind of like that dog in him. I feel like it's like it's so close that you can taste it. Like I can see it at time. I can see it in
At
the
times, yeah.
second quarter. I can see it the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, but then last 4 minutes in the fourth, I'm like, hey, you wanted Jaylen Brown to take all shots. So it's like this much face of the league, that much face of the league.
Facts. I agree, man. Look, the top 5 underrated for me was Peyton Pritchard, Andrew Nemhard, Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein, Jalen Wells. Overrated was LaMelo Ball, Devin Booker, Jordan Poole, Colin Sexton, Joel Embiid. Trey
Yeah.
had underrated Jason Tatum, Zion, Joker, Cade, and LeBron. Overrated, he had PG, Rudy, Julius, KD, Devin Booker, Brad Beal, DeMar. Any guard that just is just scoring.
Just a score. If you just a scorer, you're
Overrated.
not an all-star. You just a scorer.
Overrated.
You're a good scorer.
Overrated. I agree.
Oh, also, so here's my hot take of the day. We're gonna do
Oh,
one before we get out of there, and we just gonna try to just give y'all one. I'm gonna do it today because I just want to apologize ahead of time, and I want to give y'all a hot take that Carmelo Anthony's not a Hall of Famer. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that out there so we could just have a discussion with that a different day. But y'all can leave in the comment section down below how you feel about that, and don't get mad at me. Get mad at um the rings. So it's like that. Better Day Sports. My name's Trey. This is Denzel. Really appreciate y'all stopping by. If you have any ideas about what you want us to make videos on, any topics, anything like that, leave in the comment section down below. We would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified every time we post a video. And we'll see you on the next pod. Peace.
Peace.